Hey everybody, welcome to Wednesday's yoga class. Today we have a swift practice, a little bit of flow just to get the blood flowing. We have special guest Russo here. Hopefully he does not get too in the way, but he likes to join in for yoga time too and shed all over my mat. It's a special skill. Okay, so seated cross-legged position. It doesn't matter which leg is in front. Just get comfortable, grounding down through the sits bones, spine, back, nice and tall. And I invite you to close your eyes, deepen the breath. Maybe take note of any sounds you can hear. I've got these beautiful birds chirping outside the window. Just coming into the body, coming into the space, noticing the sounds around you, noticing the breath. And fully exhale. Bring your hands to your shins or even just to your knees. We're going to make that spine kind of like the cat and the cow spine. So we're going to start by tucking the chin down, rounding and creating sort of that C curve in the spine. Bringing the navel in. Tucking the shoulder blades down so they're not up around your ears. And then curving the line forward. Inhale, coming up. And opening up through the shoulders, shoulder blades down. Sometimes the temptation is to bring them up here. Keep them down, but you can almost use the hands as leverage to get a little deeper stretch. And moving with the breath, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Rounding and exhale. Opening up that throat chakra. One more. And release, sitting up nice and tall. Right hand is going to come beside you and you're going to reach up, getting nice and long, feeling the thighs heavy, they're still pushing down. And swiveling the heart up, maybe looking up if that feels comfortable. But again, you can move with this and just find what feels good in your body today. Inhale, and you're going to swoop around the front and work our way over to the other side. And same thing here, swiveling up. Thighs are heavy, melting into the mat. And exhale, we're going to come around and now maybe play with bringing the elbow to the mat. And if it doesn't go there, that's fine. You can just be where you are today. And around. Other side. Again, maybe the elbow, maybe you take up some space and the elbow comes to the mat. But if not, that's okay. No real right and wrong with this pose. And circle all the way back. All right, we're going to come onto our hands and knees. And I'm going to come around here. And always like with cat and cow, get that shoulder right over your wrists and your knees are underneath your hips. We're going to bring the left leg up. We're going to carve a circle with it, opening up through the hips, that ball and socket. Gaze is straight down, drawing circles. Doesn't matter how big or small these circles are. And then maybe flexing through the foot, avoiding any weird feelings through the foot. And notice if you're trying to come up more and put weight more into one hand than the other. See if you can evenly distribute the weight through both hands. And we're going to reverse the circle. Inhaling that connection to the breath. And engaging the core so you're not dumping down. One more. Awesome. All right, back to center. Feel free to bump those hips from side to side a little bit. Notice how one hip might feel a little looser than the other now. And back to all fours. Again, try to push evenly into both hands, and this time our right leg comes up, and draw those circles with your hips. One more on this direction, and switch to the other direction. Gaze is straight down. We've got a nice, long, straight spine. Pushing into that left hand equally as the right. And nice little child's pose. It can be an extended child's pose with wide stance in the knees, or you can bring the knees together if you want a more traditional child's pose. Up to you. Reaching forward. Inhale and exhale, melting into the mat. Okay, coming up, we're going to tuck into those toes and slowly mosey our way into a down dog shape. So your hips are pushing up and back towards where the ceiling meets the wall. It's okay to be way up on your tippy toes. In fact, why don't you pedal those feet, bending one knee then the other. Still opening up through the back body. Gaze is between your knees. And after you feel like you've pedaled your legs a few breath cycles, come into stillness. Pushing into all 10 knuckles. Maybe working your heels a little more towards the mat. Hips are pushing up and back. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing the forehead. Big inhales, full exhale. All right, bending those knees. You're gonna carve a line, look between your hands, and slowly walk your way up to the top of your mat. No worries if you want to keep a generous bend in those knees, still getting warm through the back body. Forward fold. Let your head hang. All the muscles in your face just relaxed. Focusing here on the breath, getting that breath to the back of the lungs. And then slowly, and slower than you want to go, come all the way up to stand. Excellent. And roll the shoulders back. Shoulders looping down and back. And we are in mountain pose. With mountain, you want your big toes to touch your heels about an inch apart, but if that doesn't feel comfortable, it's okay to do mountain with your feet hip width apart, whatever feels good to you today. And slight tuck of the tailbone, nice and broad through your shoulders. Excellent. Big inhale, reach up, look up towards your hands, and forward fold. Inhale, slide your hands up your shins to a flat back. Exhale, plant your hands. You're going to step back with your right foot. So right foot is back, left knee is just over your left ankle. And let's lower the back knee to start off. And your shoelace side of your foot can come down to the mat as well. Always making sure that your heel is stacked underneath your knee. Inhale, coming up, exhale, plant the hands, tuck the back foot, coming up and stretching back into plank. One breath here, and we're going to lower the knees, lower the chest and the chin, slide through to cobra. Pushing into the hands, shoulders are down and back, shoulder blades coming together. Exhale. Tuck the toes, push back up to your down dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, right leg comes up into the air, rounding through and stepping between your hands. Lower the back knee, shoelace side comes down to the mat as well. Lunge on the other side. Hands clap together, back down. You're going to tuck the back toes and you're going to step the left foot up to meet the right. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root all the way up to rise. Hands to heart center. Take a second, check in with your breath. That was a sun salutation C, and we're going to do it again, and I invite you to keep that exact same movement. Knee down, lowering through the chest first, but if you want to step it up a little bit and you want maybe a bit more energy flowing, then follow me. If not, repeat exactly what we did. They're very similar. All right, inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back with the right, lower the knee or keep it up. Inhale, rising up, a little bit of balance here. Make sure your knee is above your ankle. And exhale, step back to that plank. Again, feel free to lower the knees or rock forward on your toes, lower halfway, and push up through an up dog. Make sure those shoulders are nowhere near your ears. Exhale, push back, down dog. Maybe exhale through the mouth here, let some of that energy out. Inhale, right leg into the air. Exhale, plant between your hands again. You can come down onto that knee or come up a bit more balance here. Inhale, exhale, plant the hands, and again, step the left up to meet the right. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands to heart center. We've got one more of those. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slide up to flat back. Exhale, plant the hands. This time we're going to step back first with the left, just to mix it up a little. I invite you to put the knee down or rise up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, lower through chaturanga, up dog, or always take the option to go all the way down and cobra. Push back, down dog. One big breath here. On the inhale, left leg comes up into the air and plants between the hands. Rising up. Take a breath here. Exhale, plant the hands. Step the right up to meet the left this time. Inhale, slide up to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. Hands to heart center. Maybe bring your thumbs down closer to your heart. See if your heart rate may have picked up a little bit. Just notice whatever shows up. And exhale, hands come down. All right, inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, plant your hands and you can step or hop into that plank. Take a breath here. On the exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Come up through up dog or baby cobra or cobra. Push back, moving through the core into down dog. Inhale, right leg comes up into the air. Bend the knee, bring it in toward the nose. Hold it. And step it through. We're going to swivel on the back foot and coming up into warrior one. All right, so warrior one, we're reaching up. Hips are squared to the front of the mat. Bending that knee so you have a nice, kind of almost like a right angle here. Knee right over your heel. And reach up. Shoulder blades are down. Try to keep them from creeping up towards the ears. And your gaze is straight forward. Pressing into the knife edge side of that back foot. Inhale, see if you can go a little lower. Once more, exhale, see if you can go a little lower. Opening up to warrior two. So with warrior two, our hips are coming, I guess, towards me, towards the screen, towards the long end of the mat. And sometimes when we move up, then we start to come up out of it. So you bend it a little more. Check that your knee isn't rolling this way or rolling out that way. You want it tracking right over like the middle toe. Your gaze is in front of you, in front of your middle finger. Inhale, exhale a little lower. Bring your back hand to your thigh. Flip your front hand. Reach back. We're going to reach back. We're going to keep that bend in the knee. We're not letting you out of it that easily. You can do this. And you can gaze down towards your back foot. Or your gaze can go up to the ceiling. Whatever's calling to you today. And cartwheeling the hands down. Step back, plank. Option to take a vinyasa here or just push back to down dog. You do you. I kind of feel like getting my blood flowing. Didn't do too much activity this past weekend, so I'm going to meet you in down dog after doing a vinyasa. Inhale, exhale it all out. Inhale, left leg comes into the air. Bend the knee, bring it towards the nose. Hold here. Exhale, plant it between the hands. Swivel on the back foot, setting up for warrior one on the other side. Again, pushing into the knife edge of that back foot. It's kind of pointing to maybe 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And knee right over the ankle. Make sure the knee's not tracking out or tracking in, but rather right in front of that big toe. Shoulder blades are down, hips are squared to the front. Can you get a little deeper with each exhale? Can you keep that back leg active? One more breath. And on the exhale, open up, warrior two. Bending a little deeper. Shoulders are down. Sometimes they creep up. Bring them down. Gaze is in front of you, straight ahead. And one more breath here. Lower the back hand. Flip the front hand, keeping the bend. Reach back and up. Maybe your gaze comes down to your foot. Maybe the gaze goes up. One more breath. Cartwheel the hands and step back into that plank. Again, feel free to take a vinyasa, lower halfway. You always have the option of just meeting us in down dog or child's pose or whatever. Nobody's watching you. Push back to down dog. And once more, we're going to do that little dancing warrior sequence. Big inhale. On the exhale, bend your knees, look between your hands, and you can jump, hop, skip, walk, make your way to the front of your mat. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Hands to heart center. All right, we're going to try that again, maybe a little faster this time. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant hands, step, hop, or jump to your plank. Lower halfway, or put the knees down and go all the way. Push back to down dog and we'll meet there. Take a breath here. Inhale, right leg comes into the air. Bend it, step it between the hands, swivel on the back foot, opening up warrior one. Just 2 breaths to enjoy this beautiful pose. Feeling really brave and bold in this one. Inhale, on the exhale, open up to warrior two. Reaching as if 2 people are pulling you in 2 opposite directions, checking your front knee, is it over the ankle? Hand comes down, front hand flips up, reach back, revolved warrior. And cartwheel the hands down, step back, optional vinyasa, or go right to down dog. We're all meeting in down dog for 1 big breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it all out. Inhale, left leg into the air this time. Step it through. Swivel on the back foot, coming up to warrior one. Do all your checks. Check out that knee. Check out your hips. Are your shoulders down? Maybe just take a couple things to focus on, or focus on the ground. Are your toes point? Are they pushing in and grounding in? Knife edge, back foot. Open up warrior two. Can you get a little deeper? Flip the front hand, reach back. Don't forget to keep that bend. And all the way down. Step back. Very last vinyasa of the day. And exhale, push back down dog. We got this. 1 more breath. Lower the knees, extended child's pose. Now's a good time to check in with the breath. How does it feel? Do you feel like maybe your heart rate's up, maybe it's not up enough? How does it feel? And we're going to come into all fours. So again, shoulders, are they right over your wrists? We're going to tuck the back toes, make sure those knees are right underneath your hips. You're going to hover, so you're going to push into your toes, lift your knees up, and we just want those knees maybe an inch off of the mat. So it's going to require you to really engage through the core. So engage the core, fill up, and on the exhale, raise those knees up. Gaze is straight down, core is engaged. Sometimes you kind of want to go up higher. We're just really keeping it that 1 inch. You might start to feel some shaking through the core. That's okay. That's kind of what we're aiming for. You got this. 1 more breath. Exhale, lower, and then come back. I'm going to keep my toes tucked just to get a bit of stretch through the fascia of my feet. Plus, we're not quite done with that pose yet. Looping my shoulders back. All right, I'm going to come forward into all fours again. And this time, shoelace sides of the feet are going down. In fact, I want you to give them a little tap out. Inhale. inhale. This time we're going to push into the tops of our feet. We're going to do that same thing. We're going to hover just an inch above the mat. Here we go. Big inhale. Exhale, push. Core is engaged. Using the breath. Notice if there's a little shake. That's kind of what we're going for. It's okay, it's just this energy that we've kind of wanted to get flowing today. Just telling you it's there. One more breath. Exhale, release, walk it back. Hands together on your lap. Take a minute, take a second. Check in. Can you feel your core? All right, we're going back into this one, and yogi's choice. You can keep your toes tucked like we did the first go around, or you can have them pushing into the mat, whichever works for you. I'm going to add a little extra challenge on. I invite you to join me, but if you just want to do a repeat of one of the two that we just did, by all means, it's great work. Okay, again, yogi's choice. I'm going to tuck my toes here. Okay, inhale. Fill up the belly, exhale, 1 inch up. I'm going to bring my left leg back. Turning the toes down towards the floor. Bit more work for that foot and that leg that is supporting me. And it's even harder to keep it just an inch. One more breath, we've got this. And coming back. Again, I'm going to keep my toes tucked, but feel free to keep them untucked. Okay, so we've done one side, now we need to do the other. And again, I welcome you to join me, or just to do you, whatever feels good for you. All right, here we go. Make sure my knees are all lined up, my shoulders are lined up. Okay, big inhale. On the exhale, tucking the toes, knees are coming up off the mat, and I'm going to kick back with my right foot. Right toes are turned down, trying to go for 1 inch off the mat. Core is engaged, glutes are engaged, kind of everything is engaged, but I'm going to keep a soft face. One more breath. And lots of shaking going on there. Awesome. All right, coming all the way around onto our back sides. And we're going to roll ourselves all the way down. I'm going to tuck my knees in. Just give it a little rock back and forth. Feels very good. Almost done with the core. Okay, we're going to bring our feet about hip distance apart and walk them up just so I can touch them, so that maybe the tips of your fingers graze your heels. All right, we're working on a little bridge here. So we're going to round up one vertebrae, pelvis coming up off the floor, one vertebrae at a time, pushing those hip points towards the ceiling. Chin is untucked. You can keep that apple underneath there, but you're bringing your chest up towards your chin. Exhale, round down. We're going to do it again, and this time let's try to tuck our shoulder blades under, and if it feels good, you can bind underneath by interlacing your fingers. So here we go. Big inhale. Exhale, lifting up. I'm going to bind underneath. Just a little slight back bend. Release the hands, untuck the shoulder blades, come down, roll down, one vertebrae. I always go too fast. Slow, 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 slower than you want to go. And tuck the knees into the chest. Rocking back and forth, a little massage for the spine. Excellent. Okay, we're going to bring our feet to the mat. I'm going to take my right leg and I'm going to rest it on my left, creating sort of this figure four shape. Threading my right hand in between that hole created between my two legs and bringing my left foot up off the floor, reaching for behind, just this reclined pigeon pose. And I like to use this as an opportunity to roll out my left ankle, just like a bonus, 2 exercises in one. This should feel really nice on the glutes and the hips of the right leg. And if you're really feeling you're not getting enough, you can actually reach your hand right around to the calf and you get a bit more leverage to pull it closer. And this is just a pose where you can kind of let it all go. Give yourself a permission to be silent and just connect to the breath. All right, foot comes down and we're going to cross that right leg all the way over the left. Hands on the mat. We're going to move our hips maybe like an inch or two to the right, and your legs are going to fall to the left for a gentle twist. Now, if you want to reach out with your right hand and maybe look towards the right hand for a bit of a deeper twist, then by all means, enjoy. Notice where your mind tries to go. Maybe it's going to how this pose feels. Maybe it's going to other sensations in the body, or maybe it's replaying something that happened earlier today, or maybe it's stewing on something that's coming up. See if you can let go of that chatter. And I know that's probably the hardest part of yoga, but see if you can just give yourself permission to notice what's going on. But then bring yourself back to the room. Bring yourself back to your breath. And gently and slowly coming out of that twist, bringing both feet flat onto the mat. You're going to have to bring your hips back to center. And this time the left foot is going over the right. Reaching through with the left hand. Bring your legs in towards your chest. And again, this is where I like to roll out my ankle. So you can actually roll both of them out, but I'm going to roll out my right ankle. One direction, then the other. And if you feel like you're not getting enough out of this pose, you can reach through, grab your calf, and it just gives you a bit more leverage to pull it closer into the body. But of course, you don't want to come up off your hips. You want your sacrum firmly on the mat. Okay. Right foot comes to the floor, crossing the left leg over the right. Hands come down. This time you're going to move your hips an inch or two to the left. Let your legs fall over to the right. Reach out with your left hand if that feels nice. If not, no worries. And I invite you to look over towards your left, if that's accessible to you. If not, you can look straight up. And just noticing the thoughts that come up. But try not to act on them. Try not to go with them. Instead, choosing to to observe your breath. Maybe bring a gentle smile to your face. That's been kind of my mantra these last few months. Smile, breathe, go slowly. I think I've said that to you before, but it really helps me, so I think it's worth repeating. And speaking of going slowly, let's slowly come back to center. Unravel the legs and bring the hips back to the center line. All right, legs are going to come out nice and long. Arms are coming up overhead. Big morning stretch. Maybe let your ribs come up a little off the mat. And release. All right, let's do that again. A really big stretch. And release. Very unofficial yoga move, but felt really good. So, all right. Just setting up for our last pose of the day. Feel free to grab a blanket or a bolster. It's actually super sunny and hot in the room where I am, so I don't need that right now. But I'm going to let my hands come out to the side. My feet fall naturally. Snuggle my shoulder blades just gently underneath the back. Relax my jaw. That's always the thing for me. And relaxing all the muscles of the face. Coming into Shavasana. At this point, there's no need to control the breath, just let it come naturally. Noticing how it ebbs and flows. Noticing where you feel it in the body. Noticing the feeling of the cool air as it comes in through your nostrils, filling up the lungs, filling up the belly. And also becoming aware of how it feels as it flows through, warmed. And with each exhale, melting further into the mat, letting yourself become heavy. Maybe if you have your phone close by, you want to put on a song that's maybe relaxing or one that just makes you feel really great, whatever that might be. But I do invite you to remain in this pose for 5 to 10 minutes. I am going to roll onto my right side and come up to a seated position. And when it's time for you to come out of Shavasana, I invite you to do the same thing, just rolling onto your right side and letting all the benefits of your practice set in as you just curl up in that fetal position before coming up to sit. But I'm going to stop the video now, but I do invite you to spend another 5 to 10 minutes, or at least the length of a really great song, enjoying the beautiful pose that is Shavasana.